This is an endless song of freedom. The Tanzania-Zambia Railway was known as the Tazara for short. It was financed by the Chinese government and completed in 1976. The route has become a major transportation artery in East Africa. It was a product of national liberation movements in Africa.
We all wanted to see a better Africa. We all want to see free Africa.
It also provides strong evidence of China's stature in the world.
Because this was the first big project for China.
Until today, we're still grateful.
In spite of the risks and obstacles, over 4 decades ago, the railway was built starting from zero.
西方人呢，很多人呢都对这个铁路呢还是抱有很大的成见。
That is all history now, and the heroes of the time are all gone. But it is still entirely worthwhile to take a closer look back at that bittersweet period. Tazara's first station is here at Dar es Salaam, the capital of Tanzania. Both externally and internally, it resembles an old railway station in China. Since it was opened in July 1976, the station has seen an endless stream of passengers from neighboring countries. There are also often people from Asian countries.
我是来自韩国釜山的，我名字叫江珠炫。我是在北京清华大学留学过的。这个车，从坦桑尼亚到赞比亚坐3天的火车，然后可以看到非洲的风景啊，最主要能看到当地人的生活，所以决定了买这个车票。
Kang Ju-hyun met a Chinese girl from Fujian province named Liu Ziting on her way to the station. They decided to travel together.
在来到坦桑尼亚之前呢，我是在西非旅行，因为这一路在非洲都没有坐过火车，然后因为刚好又是这个是中国人援建的嘛，就想说尝试一下，还是蛮激动的啦。
At this busy station, people from all over the world come to ride this railway line. Niels Hahn, an academic from Denmark, is going to take the train today. He is studying Sino-African relations and is going on a 1-month trip on the line to learn about the past and present of the railway.
This is my first trip on Tazara. Finally, we're on the road. This is been a moment I've been waiting for a very long time. It's great. It's really amazing.
Welcome, sweet home.
Over the last 4 decades, the line has carried many passengers to their destinations. Many people have enjoyed the convenience of the railway, but Niels has found that few know the history of Tazara.
Do you know why Tazara was built? In the 60s and 70s? No? Okay.
I'm Haruna from Japan. Actually, I didn't know Chinese may build this train. Before I take this train, I saw the China 8. I saw the sticker.
When the train stops at Yambo Station, Niels approaches a worker named Rashid H. Sanguira to learn more about the history of Tazara.
Habari nzuri. Asante sana.
This is Chinese.
Oh, that is Chinese.
Sanguira said that there are many locomotives parked near Yambo Station that had been in service since the opening of Tazara in 1976. Chinese characters can still be clearly seen through the rust.
Tazara helps landlocked countries for getting military, even tanks, military tanks past the Tazara to Zambia, Zimbabwe.
So, do you think this wagon here has carried tanks in the 1970s?
Yeah, even this one.
That one, oh, okay. This is a true historical place.
Many Africans like Senguira feel the Tazara Railway is not only a crucial means of transportation, but also a symbol of national independence. After World War II, African countries began fighting colonialism and seeking national independence. Newly independent Tanzania and Zambia hoped for aid from the US or the former Soviet Union to build a railway line, but were rejected. In the 1960s, they turned to China, which was still going through economic adjustment complicated by interference from Western countries. To be rid of their difficulties and to break diplomatic isolation, China believed that helping build the railway would show the world that China was a responsible member of the international community.
...1971年，政府派我们去中国学习，是为了到家里来当政府的翻译。在中国当时黑人不多，所以中国朋友感到很奇怪。小孩说：“妈妈有鬼，有鬼。”他们的妈妈说：“他们不是鬼，就是坦桑尼亚的飞机，不要怕。”我爱北京天安门，天安门像太阳笑。 伟大领袖毛主席指引我们向前进。毕业了以后，我从事中文翻译。我当过尼日尔翻译。坦赞铁路开工以后，我跟我们的总统经常去看看中国朋友修铁路有什么困难。所以14年他到中国去的时候，跟邱总理谈到，一个是 感谢中国朋友支持我们修这个铁路，还有抛弃西方人散布的谬论。能修铁路的中国工程师还没有出现，所以尼日尔反对这个。他说这是没有，这是散布污蔑中国的谬论。
Thanks to the joint efforts of China, Tanzania and Zambia, the 1,860-kilometer railway began operation in 1976. It is a railway of friendship and a railway of freedom, but few people know that certain colonial forces opposed the project. Security measures were crucial to prevent destruction of this hard-won achievement of the Chinese and African people.
Salama.
Safi, habari gani?
Nzuri.
Karibu sana.
Now the train stops here. And the end of the train?
Yes, this is ended.
Hatari, danger.
Yes, danger in English.
Can I see?
Hatari. Yeah.
Wow, amazing, beautiful. What's your name?
My name is Bogo.
Bogo. I'm Nils. Okay. What are you doing?
I'm doing the technicals.
Kudnewa has been working on the railway for 15 years, so he is very familiar with everything.
Do you know why Tazara was built?
To help the country, the nearby of Tanzania, Libya, Zimbabwe, Uhuru, kwa ajili ya kusaidia wale kupata uhuru.
Hey, asante.
I'm a locomotive driver. When I went for this training, I was only 19 by then. Up to this time, total of 35 years.
Dennis Gama is an experienced driver on the railway. In 1982, he finished a 2-year program and became a train attendant. And now, he has become an engineer driving the locomotive.
I heard some stories that the British and the Americans were not so happy with Tazara.
Whoever was against liberation would never like Tazara. Like in 79 or early 80s, a bridge in Zambia over a very big river, Kambeshi, it was bombed and it went down.
When he learns that the railway was attacked in the past, Niels wants to talk to a witness to this little-known event.
bridge which was bombed, and this is the new bridge.
After arriving at the new Kapiri Mposhi station, the final station, Niels finally meets the first woman to drive the train safely across the bridge just before it was bombed. Her name is Evelyn Mwansa.
We were going to pick a train. Two white men came in the station. They started asking questions. What time is the train arriving? As we started going to pick her, those men are moving on the same speed with us. Why? Because as we are training, the Chinese told us that when you are passing through a bridge, you should move at a high speed. So I drove at a high speed. An hour later, we were informed that Chambesh has been bombed. Because of the same instance, I received the medals. I was honored that I rescued the people.
Evelyn Mwansa was one of the first train drivers in Zambia and the first female.
This was my instructor, a Chinese instructor. This is when I was being trained as a local driver.
Certain Western forces have been attempting to thwart African national liberation movements ever since the railway was completed. They circulate malicious rumours and even attempt to sabotage the railway. Many local people like Evelyn Mwansa have been working their jobs and safeguarding the railway.
Salama, how are you? Mzuri, salama. Have a seat.
Anyone else?
My name is Haji Mboriko.
Ulrico.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you from here?
Yeah, I'm staying in Dar es Salaam, but I've just come here for some official duties here.
Okay, so you work at Tazara?
Yeah, of course I'm working at Tazara.
Haji Amani Mbariko's job is railway security to ensure smooth operation. He believes that the railway is the safest mode of transportation.
Since it was established to the moment, we have never been involved in a very fatal accident. Never. It has never happened. It's very safe when traveling in Tazara than road transport.
How about the rain season? Now I can see it's raining today.
Of course, to some extent it's a challenge. It might cause the delays, but it arrives safe because there is a lot of precautions which have already been taken care of.
The locomotives are regularly inspected and maintained to ensure safe operation. Locomotive garages have been built near Dar es Salaam and Mbeya.
So this is a drop table equipment. It's so helpful in terms that when the locomotive has a problem of one traction motor, then it moves going that side.
Okay, I can see all the way down there.
Yes, we can see the rails are cut here. Yes. It's being operated from here. It goes down. So if you have disconnected the motor, to go down, you can see
it moves. Yeah.
It moves. Then able to come here.
There are over 90 people working in the Mbeya locomotive garage. Most of them have received training to do basic locomotive repair and maintenance. China also provides equipment and technical assistance when needed.
In 2012 up to 2016, there are some experts because we received the new locomotives from China. So those experts came with the locomotives. After 2 years, when the contract expired, they had to go back. This time we don't have anyone.
Kazi ngumu? No, study is difficult? So you're an electrician?
Yeah.
So here they are doing alignment. There's an equipment blower and then the alternator. There's this shaft. We have to do alignment. Make sure the shaft is in a straight line. Yeah.
Very powerful.
Yes.
Railway construction and operation requires a heavy investment with only modest returns. Because some facilities and management mechanisms need to be updated, some Western media were falsely reporting that the railway had been deserted. In Niels' investigation, he finds that there was a rail line built in Tanzania by the Germans that long ago stopped running.
That was built by the Germans.
Yes.
When they were rolling here.
Yes.
This one too. Kidatu.
Yes.
Kidatu. And the Kidatu was because of the factory which was the sugar factory. Yeah.
The Tanzania Central Line, which was built in the early 20th century, also began at Dar es Salaam. The route greatly deteriorated after the British captured it from the Germans in World War I due to insufficient investment and poor management. But Western media never reported on this neglect.
This railway line is from Kilosa to Kidatu.
Yes.
The Tazara railway was built later on.
Do you know why this railway stopped working? Why was it closed?
I'm not very much sure, but what I know is that we are not getting cargo, getting goods, so they stopped. Competition in the lorry owners, truck owners.
This is Great North Road. In the early 1970s, the world was still locked in the Cold War. During this period, China was undertaking the Tazara project, and the road following the rail route was constructed by the US almost the same time. Road transport is more flexible in terms of delivery schedules and destinations, and competition from truck transport has adversely affected the railway. But villages and towns in Tanzania are scattered along the road, which is in poor condition and often subject to accidents. The biggest advantages of the railway are its safety and reliability.
So this is the China garage.
对，它是进苏了嘛，现在它必须提走。
因为有时候擦台车几分钟能擦完呢。
Yosefu, unategemea utachukua muda gani kuikagua hii gari? Unakagua kila sehemu.
This is Benedict Mkanyago. He participated in the Tazara project and speaks fluent Chinese. He has worked as a station master over 20 years.
How long have you been working here?
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah. After retiring, I don't have a work, so I decided to come and get another earnings from my best friend, Chinese, my best friend since 1970. Yeah, this was a very bad accident.
Yeah.
It fell down from the road, it fell down.
You know, when I've been driving on the road here, I see a lot of accidents. Are there really many accidents on this road? Or is it just me just now that is it coincidentally that I see so many accidents?
No, actually, there are so many accidents in this road. You know, some of the vehicles, they do travel at night time. And if they travel at night time and another one coming from here, and he flashes him, then he loses control. So actually, I can say, using these big vehicles, traveling night time on this highway is a risk. So many accidents occurs.
The garage where Mkanyago works is less than 1 kilometer from the railway. In his spare time, he often walks over to the railway and thinks about the past.
这个原来我们用是镇长办公室这个1970开始用这个站，用这个还是用，但是没有工人。
Uyole Station is still on the route, but is no longer in use. Like many of the smaller stations, no one works here due to lack of traffic. It is Mkanyago's fervent wish to see the route revived.
我跟你讲一下，如果你们国家可以考虑这个问题，我们还很高兴。中国的是老朋友嘛，原来毛主席、Nyerere是老朋友嘛，也是我们还是应该老朋友。
This was the Tazara construction headquarters. Over 50,000 Chinese personnel first arrived here following the signing of the agreement in 1967. It was later turned into a museum commemorating the Tazara project to preserve the memories of the time.
坦赞铁路修建成功之后呢，已经有40多年的历史。我们一直呢是希望建一个坦赞铁路的一个陈列馆，把这段珍贵的历史呢保存下来。但是这个陈列馆呢规模还是相对比较简陋，我们呢还有很大一批的文物在咱们国内。
The old photos and relics with their stories provide a glimpse into how the Tazara was built.
这个地方呢是我们最早的一个办公区域，这个地方呢是咱们种的一些竹子。因为在最早的时候呢，西方人呢很多人呢都对这个铁路呢还是抱有很大的成见，然后呢也制造了很多的谣言。其中一条呢就是我们的工程是以竹子来建的，铁路也是以竹子来实施的。
It's been 4 decades since the railway was completed, and Western countries are still condemning China over the project. But facts speak louder than words. China helped Tanzania build the railway, thus supporting national liberation in Africa. It may have been long ago, but those precious memories are worth preserving. The start of Sino-African cooperation broke the Western economic blockade against the Southern African countries, helped them gain their independence, and won the praise of the international community. 1 year after completion of the Tazara project, the People's Republic of China regained its legitimate seat in the United Nations, and a mutually beneficial cooperation with Africa was underway.
我们做着猜火车的游戏，村民们不断吆喝自己的生意，那熙熙攘攘的人群，不知他们从哪来，到哪去。
那一年啊，我离开了妈妈。